All right, number 4, a restaurant frequently offers a special Prix Fix meal and has been charging $140 per person for the event at that price. They've been averaging 30 customers each time. Their marketing firm is convinced that they'll gain a customer for every dollar they lower the cost of the event, and conversely lose a customer for every dollar they raise the cost. Their fixed cost for the event is $1,400, and preparing each customer's meal is an additional $20. What are the break-even points in terms of customer serve? Write the exact answer. Do not round. Separate multiple answers with a comma. Okay, so in the text, I recommend you look at example 4. It does a really good job of explaining. I'm going to try to condense it and try to make it easy to digest for you here to help you understand what's going on. And then I'm going to solve it with technology. They solve it by hand. My technology will give you a better visual, and then if you want to do it by hand, you can follow their example in the textbook. So with number 4, okay, we have some event going on, and we have a cost, and we're making money on. We want to know what our break-even point is. So the cost is what we start with, what it costs us to do the venue, and we're told. So I'm doing CX. C is cost. X is the number of customers. Is what they let us know. Number of customers. Okay. The cost was $1,400. And then it costs $20 per plate that they fixed. And the revenue is a little bit different, but let me kind of just give you the cliff notes of the revenue. They make a table, but here's what's going on. To figure out revenue, revenue is the price that you charge times the number of items sold, or the number of customers that pay that price. Okay. The price is changing, as well as the number of customers changing. All right, so we're going to use X for the number of customers, but in order to determine the number of customers, we start out with what their average is, which is 30. So X is 30. I'm going to say plus N. Okay. Because we want to add customers, hopefully to get more money. 30 plus N. N could be negative number, meaning we lost a customer. Could be 0, which means we just have 30, or it could be 1. We can just add one customer, and so any negative or positive number we could replace with N. Now, the price right now is $140, and that price is also, $140. This price of $140 is also going to be changing based on the price. The price is going to be changing based on some number that I use. If I subtract by 1 or add 1, I could add to the price or increase the price. We need to do opposite signs. So let me try to explain this. When the price goes down, okay, according to the marketing firm, says the marketing firm is convinced that they will gain a customer for every dollar they lower the cost. Okay, so if I go down -1, this goes up +1, and vice versa. And so this should work out. If I plug a negative right here, minus a negative, that means the price went up, and that's what will go down. So let's verify. If I plug in -1, 140 minus -1. So this is what's going on with the price, and then my number of customers, X is equal to 30, and I also plug in a -1. So if this happens, minus a negative, this will be 141, and then 30 minus a 1, that will be 29. Okay, so this is the relationship that you need. Minus here, plus here. All right, we have our equations though, our variables set up in terms of X. And so when we do our price, we want to do price times X. We don't want this extra variable N in there. So we want to solve N in terms of X based on what we wrote here. Because our customer is just going to be 1, 2, 3. Like this is a variable. I don't need two different letters changing. Okay. I just need to do one. So X is going to be my number of customers. And I need to figure out what the price is in terms of that. So what we do is we solve this for N. To get N by itself, we're going to subtract 30. So N is equal to X minus 30. Okay? So that's what N is. That tells me the number that I need to either increase or decrease my price by. And once I do that, that's going to determine the number of customers. All right. What I'm going to do now is take this N and substitute it right here. Okay, and I'm going to get an equation in terms of X. So right now, I'm going to simplify this. I have 140 minus N. Now what is N? N is equal to X minus 30. So in parentheses, X minus 30. And this is determining my price. So I'm going to distribute. So this minus is acting like a -1. You need to distribute and change both signs. So I have 140 minus X, and then negative times a negative would be plus 30. All right, so I can combine this, and this will give me 170 minus X. So this is going to be my new price that I'm going to be plugging in here. So this is how we get our revenue. 170 minus X. And you have to go through that process to come up with this revenue equation to be able to solve. All right, now that you have both equations, cost and revenue, we can find out where they intersect, where we break even. So what you do, if you want to do this by hand, you just set this equal to this and solve. However, I'm going to do it with technology and just show you that process. I'll turn this on. I'm going to clear, second quit. I'm going to get back to the start screen. So I'm going to erase everything that I've done because I've kind of been playing with this problem. I'm going to do second plus sign for memory, the number 7, the number 1, and the number 2 to clear everything that I've been playing with. Okay, so I'm going to clear this out, and I'm going to go to y equal, and I'm going to type both these equations in. So 1400, use the keypad, plus 20, and then I have to use the calculator to get X. So X right here next to the alpha key. All right, then I'm going to arrow down. I'm going to put my revenue equation. So X, and then parentheses 170, and then minus X. And then close parentheses. All right, so I'm going to graph. I'm probably not going to see anything yet because my window goes 10 to 10, and these numbers are much bigger. But I'm just going to show you. I'm going to hit graph. And I see nothing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is change my window. So since this is real world, X is the number of customers, I'm going to start with 0 because we don't deal with negative number of customers. Now, they start out with 30. Normally, you want to go something much bigger, so let's go out to, I would say 5, maybe even 10 times what your parameter are. So let's go out to 300. Let's go 10 times that, just to see what we see. And then minimum, we don't want to 0, we want to break even. So I'm going to start at 0 with money, and then these parameters, like the original cost, go up to 1,400. And so I'm going to go 10 times this. So I'm going to go 1,400. So 1,400. And then I'm going to graph. Okay, so I'm seeing not a whole lot. Let me go back to y equal and make sure I got everything in there correct. X times 170 minus X, 1,400. Okay, and then go back to graph. So I'm not seeing that other line. I need another equation. So maybe let me go up a little bit higher because it's kind of cutting off. I see something going up. So I'm going to go window, and let's change this maybe to let's just say 5,000. And then graph. So there's my other line. Okay, so I see 2 points where they intersect. Now that's what we're looking for on the graphing calculator. So they show you this image also in the textbook, but you got lines crossing two spots. That's what we're looking for, their intersection. That's when we break even, here and here. I'm going to find the intersection of those two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to second and calculate. And I want to find option number 5, intersection. So I'm going to go down and hit 5. And my calculator says first curve, and it's showing me that equation. I'm going to hit enter. And then it says second curve. It's showing me the other equation I put in. I'm going to hit enter. Then it says, do you want to guess? I'm just going to hit enter. If you have a different calculator, or if you use a phone app, it may say left bound and right bound. All right, so right now, we're going to break even at 140 customers, which I'm going to write that down, 140. Okay, so let me go back. If you were using a phone app or something different, it may say left bound. So what that means is wherever you see those two lines intersect, you need to arrow over, and hopefully that cursor will be on the line. You need to go to the left side and hit enter, and then you need to go to the right side of where that is and hit enter, and then it'll find it for you. But for mine, it asks curves. All right, so I found one. I now need to find this one. So I'm going to do second, trace again to get calculate, and then option number 5. And then it asks me first curve. I'm going to hit enter. Second curve, enter. It says guess. I'm going to arrow to the left. Keep arrowing until that cursor is close to the second intersection. Otherwise, it'll just keep picking up that one. So you just want that cursor to be close to that one. Hit enter again, and then this one breaks even at 10. So either I can raise the price and get 10 customers and break even, or I can lower the price and get 140 customers and break even. So we get 2 break even points, 10 and 140.